My name is Donny Consla, and I'm a small animal veterinarian. My initial thoughts on disability insurance, to be honest, I didn't really have any. It never really entered, in my thoughts. I wasn't really familiar with it, so I didn't really know much about it until I heard Elliot speak. So, I was starting my career, and along with that comes a lot of, student loan debt and other challenges. He gave this pitch of setting yourself up for success. You got to pay yourself first. And I just thought, like, well, he certainly knows more about this than I do. So my wife and I talked, and we're like, this seems like the thing to do. So let's just do it and not have to worry about it. It'll be, taken out of our account, and we'll just know that it's there should we ever need it. But we figured we probably wouldn't. Kind of out of nowhere, my physician's office called me, and they're just like, "Hey, do you want to come in for just a wellness check?" It's been a minute or two, and I was like, "Okay, sure. Here are my days off." I got scheduled, and I went in feeling fine. I was training for a half marathon. I ran 10 miles the day before. I was feeling great. So yeah, they took the history. The doctor starts doing his exam, and he's listening to my heart, and he kind of goes through, and then he goes back to an area and just kind of pauses for a little bit, and he's listening, and he's like, "Has anybody ever said anything about a heart murmur?" And I was like, "No, I've never had one before." And he's like, "Well, there's definitely one there today." He's like, "We'll get you an echocardiogram just to check it out." He's like, "You're young, doing okay. It's probably this thing called a bicuspid aortic valve." So then I go to the echocardiogram, and of course, I know what I'm looking at, and I'm just watching it. I'm like, oh man, this is not good. So overall, the results were it was a bicuspid aortic valve, but the aortic valve was basically shot. It had severe regurgitation and stenosis. It was just kind of like stuck in a half open position. And then I had a giant aneurysm as well, which was kind of the most concerning thing for everybody. And it was like as big as you could get without it rupturing. So from that day, it was less than 3 weeks, and I was having open heart surgery. It was such a huge relief to know that I had this disability insurance, and so that like I was going to still get paid and be able to take care of what I needed to take care of. Having the long-term disability insurance made a huge difference in my recovery after surgery. It eased a burden, that I was feeling to be able to, pay my regular bills and expenses. And it did that effortlessly. And it's been such a small contribution, financially this whole time for such a big payout after surgery. And it was a relief to myself, to my family, to know that we didn't have to stress about, these routine financial things because we had this policy. If I had to give somebody advice who is on the fence about purchasing disability insurance or not, I mean, I would emphatically say do it. I did it just graduating from veterinary school. I mean, if there's a time when finances are tight, that's it. And it's such a small contribution, but in the long run, uh, I mean, it's invaluable. And I was young, healthy, not a care in the world, wasn't having any health issues. And then just out of the blue, doctor's office calls, says, "Hey, you want to just come in, get checked out?" And like world changed. And having that policy was an absolute blessing.